Okay, so now that we have finished the warm-up, we're going to go straight into our notes. So what we're going to be doing is factoring trinomials, and you have learned to take out the GCF of a binomial and a trinomial. So when factoring trinomials, the first step is that we're going to do is make sure that our a value is 1. So this a value is going to be 1 or just x squared, or whatever variable it is, squared. So when factoring trinomials, it's a lot like reverse FOILing. And what we want to do is first check if the GCF is or check if there is a GCF that we can take out of the trinomial. And then we are going to factor. So the first thing that we want to look at is our x squared, and we want to turn our x squared into our d and g. And this will make a lot more sense once we get into an example, but for now I just want you to see the variables of how these connect. Okay, so then what we would do is, now that we have our x squared, or our x and our x, then what we would be able to look at is this sign right here, the addition. So we know that addition means same signs, and we know that negatives are different signs. So when we do this, that's what we'll also be looking for. So let's look at an example. Let's do this. I'll show you how to do this one first, because I know this is very new for you. So our first step is to look if we have a GCF. Do we have a GCF?
No.
Good. Okay, so then what we're going to do next is we're going to just draw two parentheses. And we're going to leave space in between so we're able to write our variables and our numbers that are in. So what we want to do is our first term 1. So is our x squared 1?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to write our x here and our x here. Then we're going to look at 28. So if we can think about all the factors that go into 28, so like 1 times 28, 7 times 4, all of those, then we can decide which numbers would be best to make the middle term. So that determines our middle term, is which factors are going into 28 is going to determine our 11x. Okay, so we know that 28 times 1 is not going to work because our middle term would then be 29x. However, we do know that 4 and 7 equal 28, meaning that if we were to add 4 plus 7, we would also get 11x. So we can go ahead and add in our 4 and our 7. Now we're going to look and decide if the sign is going to be positive or negative, or is it going to be both. So remember, addition means same sign. So that means both of our signs are going to be positive. Good job. Okay, let's do number 2 together. So I'm going to ask you questions. Okay, so is there a GCF that can be taken out?
No.
No, good. So then what's our next step?
Draw the parentheses.
Good job.
2.
Okay, so is our a value 1? So is our x squared the value of 1?
Yes.
Yes, good. So how would we get x squared?
Parentheses x.
Yeah. So 2 x's in both of our parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's think about the multiples of 18 that can be equal to negative 9.
Negative 6.
Yes. Oh, you're telling me the sign too?
Mhm.
You already know? Okay. Okay. What would be our other one then?
3.
Positive or negative?
I think it's going to be positive. Yep. Positive.
Okay, good job. So this would be our final answer. So our final answer, how you would say this is our parenthesis x minus 6 in the first parenthesis. In the second parenthesis, you'd have x plus 3. So if we go and look at the next one, let's have you do this one on your own. Okay, so
Wait, give me 1 second.
okay. Okay, so first thing you did right away was you made sure there's no GCF. You saw that right away and you just went right into drawing your two parentheses. What did you get in your first parenthesis?
N minus 8.
Okay, what did you get in your second?
N plus 4.
And you knew, right, that since negative 32 is a negative, so it makes different signs.
Yes.
So a negative and a plus. Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Okay, number 4. You want to try this one on your own, or do you want to do it
Yeah, I
together?
can try it on my own.
Okay. Wait, look at this again and look at your signs.
Oh. So this will be positive.
Yeah.
Oh, the non-negative. Okay, that's negative.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I got my answer.
Okay. Do you get why that?
Yeah.
Because
I just confused it.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead. What'd you get for your first parenthesis?
M plus 10.
Okay. Second?
M minus 3.
Yes, good job.
Thank you.
Okay, this one is going to be a little bit different. So we'll do this one together. So what's our first step in everything?
Look for a common factor.
Yeah. So our GCF.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have one?
Yes.
Good. So we can take out a
3.
Yeah.
Because it goes into 9 and 12.
And to
3.
itself.
Yeah.
And remember our a value has to be 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so then so when we take that out, we would have our x squared, our minus 4x plus our 3. Okay, now that we have our GCF out, our greatest common factor out, we have to still always bring down this this positive 3. And if we forget this 3 in front of our parentheses, the answer is automatically wrong. Because if you think about it, if you don't have this 3, this is going to be your answer. Is that what we started off as? No. Okay, so now that you know how to do this, so we would have our x in one parenthesis and our x in the other. Okay, so signs are going to be the same because it's positive, so we're going to have a negative, and this is telling us that we're going to have a negative in both. And then, what are the multiples of 3? Just 3 in itself.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter where we place them. So our answer is going to be 3 outside the parenthesis, and then in the first parenthesis it's going to be x minus 3, and our other parenthesis it's going to be x minus 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense of why we would have to keep this 3 going down?
That'd make your answer incorrect if you didn't bring that down.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Got that.
Okay. So you want to try number 6 on your own?
Yep.
Okay, here you go. So remember, your first step is
Putting it down. No. Try to get this. Find the GCF.
yes. Remember that your A value always has to be positive.
Okay.
So you have the right idea of taking out the 4, but you need to take out, you need to take out that negative and that negative 1.
So, but it would still be negative down here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You think you got it? Well, wait. Check your signs now that we've changed that.
Okay.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think you got?
So on the outside of the first parenthesis is gonna be negative 4.
Okay.
Then first parenthesis is gonna be n plus 7.
Yep.
Second parenthesis is gonna be n minus 2.
Yes. And I liked how you wrote your steps like this, because then I can see your work of what you took out, what you thought you took out, and then what your answer was. Very good. So this would be your homework. I'm not going to make you do this though.
Oh yes, no homework.
And then this. And then if they needed extra practice, I would give them this. And then that's the key for the homework. And that is all.